Stemilt Ag Services was set to pay more than $80,000 to an estimated 4,300 Mexican H-2A workers who sued for wages they were owed dating back to 2015. But the nonprofit agency Columbia Legal Services intervened on behalf of about 1,100 more workers who were not properly notified of the settlement. Columbia Legal Services attorney Joe Morrison says that's in part because of an unreliable Mexican mail system.
What a lot of people don't know here is that the Mexican mail system really doesn't work very well. And in fact, if you mail something, it may not get there for several months. It may not get there at all. And so mailing things to people and having deadlines to respond within a certain time frame will result in people not getting the notice or getting it after the deadline has passed. Even if they had gotten through that system, gotten the notice, claimed, they would have been provided a check in the mail. Again, sending a check in the mail is really problematic to Mexico because it may never get there. And even if it did get there, unfortunately, people can't cash U.S. checks. Mexican workers aren't permitted by the banks to cash those checks, so it's basically useless to them.
Aside from the notification problem, Chelan County Judge Leslie Allen ruled last week that the settlement has another flaw. Wages that go unclaimed would revert back to Stemilt, in defiance of both past legal precedent and the rules that govern Washington courts. A portion of unclaimed settlements in such cases is supposed to be handed over to nonprofits representing the plaintiff's interests.
So the court could then earmark funds that to organizations that particularly are missioned with getting wages for low-income folks. But it's up for the lawyers typically to present that to the court. The court then independently evaluates that and decides whether they fit the criteria.
Attorneys for Columbia Legal Services, Stemilt, and the original workers now must re-examine the settlement and come up with a deal that satisfies all parties. Some of the workers have brought a separate lawsuit in federal court. Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.